got a call to jump on a meeting I didn't know I was invited to, so those two had to sit around for a second, and they were good sports about it. Hi, welcome to HowDoWeHuman. It's the podcast where we overanalyze all the weird and uncomfortable micro moments in life. I'm one of your hosts, Evan Cox.
I'm one of your hosts, Chris Binning.
And
I am your special guest today. There's a pause there. I like to fill the air with
no dead air.
You know, so no dead air here. I am your special guest of the day, Tory N. Thompson.
You're doing my job. I appreciate that. That is Tory. He's been on a few past episodes where you did a candy draft for Halloween. Promoting yourself.
I was there too. This is number 3, huh?
This is number 4. This is number 4 because you also hopped on at the end of the I don't remember what this episode was called, but it was like telecommunications or something.
It was our initial COVID episode where we were just talking about Zoom and
that's
stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
we zoomed with you and Katie and maybe Katie.
And Mary.
I don't remember. Mary.
Okay.
Yes.
It was
Anyways,
well, I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back, fellas.
We're happy to have you. I don't know. We didn't. We haven't had a guest on in a while.
It has been a very long time since we've had a guest. But
I'm excited.
This episode, which is about sporting events,
and is about to start.
So I promise you, we're going to start this episode, everybody. But this is an episode that we have talked about for several years at this point.
Yeah.
And one of the guests that we said if we're gonna do this episode, one of the guests that would make sense for us to have is Tory. And so now 200 plus episodes into the podcast, here it is.
We're doing it. And why, pray tell, Chris, did it come up that we're doing it now?
Great question. For a long time when we had discussed sporting events as an episode, it was, well, we need to have a guest because Chris doesn't remember the last time he went to a sporting event. But about 2 weeks ago, I went to the Dodgers game. I am now an expert on sporting events.
Yes.
And can't wait to get into it.
Amazing.
From just a general baseline, I guess I'll say I probably go to like 2 a year, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like one basketball game, one baseball game. Every now and then I'll go to a Seahawks game when they play in Los Angeles with my friend. But so maybe 3 a year. Let's put it at that. Tory, where are you at? How often are you going to these sporting events?
I typically, and I remember, Evan, you invited me. You're like, hey, do you want to go to a Clippers game? And I was like, oh God, that's the bald-headed stepchild of Los Angeles basketball. No, thank you. I'm a Lakers fan. But I typically go to probably like at least 1 to 2 Lakers games a year. Nice. But also, I'm pretty fortunate because I live in Inglewood. And I live like really close. Like I've walked to SoFi Stadium where the Chargers and the Rams play, and I have
Taylor Swift.
Couple. And yes, the new home of Taylor Swift. Did you hear, by the way, quick tangent about Taylor Swift in, I believe it was Seattle, when she went to her Eras tour, which is currently on. Like,
I know what
the crowd was so into it; they're jumping up and down and caused an earthquake.
Yes, they did.
Like it was a seismic crowd that caused movement on the Richter scale.
And I can relate it right back around to sporting events because that was the initial thing. Now Kansas City holds the record, but Seattle used to hold that record for the loudest stadium because at one particular Seahawks game, it was it made it onto the Richter scale. It made a tiny earthquake. I'm like, Maybe it's just Seattle.
Maybe it's
I don't
Seattle.
know.
They have an
Something's
underground
up,
fault that no one knows about that
right?
runs under the event stadium. But
Yeah.
no, so I have so home of the Rams and the Chargers and Taylor Swift, and I have a couple friends that have season pass to the Rams and Chargers game, and
Cool.
when they can't sell them or when they're not around, they're like, "Hey, Jordy, you want to go?" Because they know I'm like, I live here, or I live really close, so I'm like a really good last minute person to ask because I'll definitely take advantage of those tickets. So I've been going to like 1 or 2 football games a year recently. Last year I went to a couple soccer games for the first time. So average probably at least 4 a year.
Nice.
Give or take 1 or 2. But yeah, I'm happy to be a sports fan and I go. I mean, look, we're in Los Angeles. We have pretty much 2 of every major sport.
Right.
We have 2 basketball teams, 2 football teams, 2 soccer teams, 2 baseball teams, 2 hockey teams, 2 water polo teams. I don't know about water polo. I was just exaggerating. But like maybe like we have like 2 of everything pretty much.
Yeah. I've done it before where you can, when my other friend Chris comes to visit to go to a Seahawks game. The last time he was here, we did a Seahawks game, a Clippers game, and we tried to go to a Kings game and just hit all in the same day, but we just barely missed out. It's fun.
Couldn't do the hat trick.
Couldn't do the hat trick. My hat stayed on my head because the trick is taking it off and flipping it around. We gotta know, Chris, how'd it go? Did you get a Dodger dog? Did you enjoy your time on those plastic seats?
Yeah. Okay. So, even though this was in the last or in the 9 years that I've lived in LA,
God,
this was the first Dodgers game that I went to, but it should be noted the third time I had been to Dodger Stadium. Times 1 and 2. COVID vaccine number 1 and COVID vaccine number 2.
Got it.
So you got a special relationship with the Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. But the reason that I went to
I'm sorry, that would be great, by the way, if we could go back for a second. Like, let's say you did go to Dodger Stadium, and like, you know how long like those initial lines were to get your vaccine? That would have been great if they had like the vendors just like selling Dodger dogs to everyone who was like waiting for the vaccine.
Of course.
Yeah.
That would have been like,
and then when you get your vaccine, you get to run the bases. You're supposed to move your arms a little bit. Get your blood pumping. How well behaved was that crowd, Chris?
Relatively well behaved. And maybe it's because the Dodgers won. I don't know. But the reason that we went was my future father-in-law had bought tickets for himself, his wife, his 2 daughters, and then me. And so the 5 of us went, and we get in and we're like trying to figure out, he has the tickets on his phone. None of the rest of us have seen the tickets or where we're sitting. Okay? We know it's 5 seats together, and that's about it. We go, he asks, we're in like section 44 or something. So he goes and he asks the usher, I guess. I don't know if they're called that in stadiums or if that's just theaters, but we asked the guy and he's popcorn. Like, section 44 is right here, row T is right here. And so we go and we sit down. We're there a little early, so we go get Dodger dogs. Dodger dogs, a thing that I've heard legends about. Can't wait to try. So we get our Dodger dogs, we're hanging out, and then we go back to our seats. And people are in our seats here in the
always a pleasure.
We were up in the like reserve section or whatever.
Upper reserve.
Up top there. And we get over there and we're like, well, wait a second. So we compare tickets and it's like, come on, guys. Like, we were in the wrong. because we were not supposed to be in upper reserve. We were supposed to be apparently field level. So we had to go all the way down.
I mean, that's a good mistake to have.
It is a good mistake.
Damn.
But
Quite an error.
Yeah. And according to my fiance, she was like, I'm so glad you got to see this. This shit happens to us all the time.
Welcome to the family.
Better
Yeah,
get to
exactly. So we get all the way down to the field level, and people are in those seats too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we compare tickets with them, and then they're supposed to be 2 rows up, so they move, and then we take our seats there. But so it was a good mistake to have happen. We got some pretty good seats. I feel like, and I don't know if going to more events between the two of you, if you experience bad fan behavior. But in my mind, there can be a lot of bad fan behavior, and there was a group of like kind of bro-y guys directly in front of us, and I was like, this is gonna be a rough time. But they were super cool. Anytime the Dodgers scored, they'd turn around and high five all of us, like in more of a like sports community kind
We're
of
all
vibe.
in this
Which,
together.
yeah, which like
that's the fun stuff.
Most of LA, I feel like, is like, nope, it's about me and my friends, and I don't care about anybody else. So it was cool to have that experience as well. I will say we were playing the Braves. And
you went to that game. Oh, yeah. Big rivals.
Yeah. But I went to the one that we won out of the one out of the series. But to see the tomahawk chop live in person, a very strange feeling, because you see it when you watch a game and you see it on the screen or whatever, you're like, that's dumb. Wow. But seeing it in person is very unusual, very unnerving.
I'm sure it's different when you feel like you're close enough to just like walk over to someone and be like, why are you doing this? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I went to my first Dodger game also this year. I mentioned you. Okay. Weirdly, coincidentally, my my girlfriend's parents won tickets at an auction from their business they run, and originally we're going to go on that day where you were there, but instead went on a different day, and our friend Derek was there. Like, I don't think my friends go to Dodgers games that often, but we instead chose to go to the game where they played Cincinnati and were shellacked 0-7. And that crowd was less well behaved, if you could imagine.
Interesting.
Then it sounds like your crowd was. And I want to bring up a specific type of person. And Tori, I wonder your thoughts on these. And maybe you're one. I don't know. Because you said no to me, we've never been to a game together. There's this drunk guy. And this will happen at Dodgers games. Obviously, they checked tickets, and I've been to one. This will happen at Dodgers games. I mean, baseball games in general, where people will just move up. The stadium didn't sell out. Maybe these seats close up that people haven't sat in yet. Maybe those are open, and we'll just take them. So there's a drunk guy doing that. People keep showing up. He keeps having to move, and this guy is just like deciding he's certainly the voice of the crowd. And what he wants to do is yell insults to the Dodgers because they're not winning. And I'm like, what? We don't co-sign him. he's not with us. We're over here high-fiving. These are the good things. But where it's like the pitcher was pitching bad, obviously. It wasn't going well. But it's not going to help. And we were field level also, so it's like we're in shouting distance.
Right.
And you're shouting like take him out of the game. He fucking sucks. Ah! It's like, well, he's not going to play better now. I don't need to hear that. I did improv long enough. If someone in the crowd shouted what I knew was going on, I would have fucking collapsed. It wouldn't have been a better show. That should be an option in an improv show.
Just sit down if you're going to stand on the back line.
Your coach from the audience can take someone out of rotation. Evan, you're out. Tory, have you been witness to this sort of behavior and the mean yelling at the players?
I have, and I think that, you know, it's not necessarily super specific to LA because there are, hecklers of every kind in general, but Seattle, sport hecklers are nothing that should be a surprise to anyone going to the game at this point, you know. And it always surprised me at the various levels of inebriated these people are. Sometimes they're not inebriated whatsoever. They're just dicks.
That's just it.
They're just dicks.
You get what you see.
And sometimes they're just sloppy drunks. You know what I mean? But it's I don't know if they have pent up resentment from their little league, pee wee league coach from when they were 5 and 6 or something. Or are they I could do better than that, yada yada yada. You know, but I have heard specifically from a lot of my friends that they aren't super happy with the management of the Dodgers. Dave Roberts leaves people in way too long, or doesn't take or takes them out too early. XYZ. So I can get that, and I'm a big fan. I've been there, and I think that a general kind of common hms and haws can be okay. If we're going in someone on the Dodgers is up there and he strikes out, it's okay to let out a collective, oh, come on, hit the ball. I think that's fine. But getting specific, my kid can hit better than no one. First of all, no one cares about your family. I feel like you're one of those people that has my family stickers on the back of your minivan. Take that shit off. Sorry, it's not no one wants to see that. No one cares, bro. No one cares if you have a baby on board. That makes me want to ram your car even more. Saying you have a baby on board sticker. But come on, just keep it general. It's okay. It's not gonna. I feel like most of these people bet their life savings to a bookie that they know that they can't pay up, and so they're like, oh my gosh, if you don't hit this ball, I'm gonna Sally Two Thumbs is gonna break my kneecaps. I don't understand why they're so invested in something like that, man. It's a regular season game. It's a regular season game. When it goes to playoffs, cool, I get it. The drama and the anticipation raises 10 times. Cool, get that. At a regular season, relax, dude.
Between baseball and to a certain degree on that level, I do understand with the NFL. There's 17 games now. That's the most there's ever been. Every game is pretty important. There's 80-some games in baseball and basketball.
Yeah, man.
Individual games these aren't make or break situations. But I think you hit on it, combining both of what you're saying, it is that community vibe of when you're at a sporting event and you're on the same team as the people around you. Everyone's like, yay! And there can be this community voice when you all agree. When something terrible happens and you go, oh, when they hit a home run and you go, ah, and you high five everyone. And then there are people just not in that. Again, hey, I'm going to bring it back to improv. There's a good improv scene. Everyone's mind melding together. Ooh, everyone's doing it. And then there's someone outside who's like, you, and why'd you enter this improv scene, Mr. Baseball fan?
and I think there's I've been fortunate enough to go to many types of sporting events for different sports, right?
Yeah.
Basketball games, football games, baseball games, soccer games, hockey games. Hockey game, I only went once.
Hockey game.
My friend dragged me there. I'm like, why do I want to? I don't understand.
Hockey's my
but
favorite.
it was cool. We were pretty cool. We were close to the glass, and like now I actually like going because I was just ignorant before. I was ignorant. I didn't know what I was missing out on. But I'm like, I actually like going to hockey games.
It's basketball on skates, and you can punch each other.
And you can punch people. Yes, exactly. It's great. But I think specifically for baseball, you don't really go, especially during a regular season. You don't necessarily go for the sport. You go for the vibe, the hangout. It's kind of like a picnic at like a baseball game to me. Like you go, like I don't know anyone that goes to like a Dodgers game by themselves. Like that's my get some friends. But but they actually go with other people. They get like a group and they go with like at least a significant other or like a group of like 5, like what Chris did with his family, or a big group of like people who play local softball and they go with their team, right? It's really about going and like enjoying the vibe and the energy of a baseball game and the energy of the crowd versus the sport itself. Now, when you go for football or baseball, or basketball, it's really, I feel like you're going for the sport. Yeah. And there's like a whole bunch of different things that come with this. I think baseball tickets are generally cheaper, or are one of the cheapest around. So like, cool, I can go to a Dodgers game for like $20 and sit in like the upper reserve and whatever. Again, I'm going there for the communal aspect and to hang out. While I go to a football game, I'm spending $300 for nosebleeds, and like I'm super invested, right? Yeah. If I go to a Lakers game, I'm paying my life savings for standing room tickets. Like I'm super invested because I want their. I'm literally investing my money into the team winning. Yeah. But for a baseball game, that's why I really don't understand. Like, if people are there just to hang out, and you have this one jackhole who's just like killing the vibe for everyone, that really sucks. Because again, I'm not baseball. I love playing baseball and softball. Mm-hmm. It's so boring to watch. It's so boring to watch. So when I go, I'm there for like to hang out and not to actually watch it. So if I can't even enjoy the hangout experience, it's just it feels like a wasted trip almost.
Absolutely.
I was always under the impression that baseball was boring to watch. I had been to like Diamondbacks games when I lived in Arizona and was a child and felt like it was boring. But I gotta tell you guys, as an expert now, this new pitch clock rule is the greatest thing to happen to baseball.
Okay, yes.
All right, we can talk about best. That. This is just a whole episode about baseball. Now we're gonna get way too specific. I'm open to just being like I'm wrong, because Derek and I had this conversation when we went to Mariners played in Anaheim. Which is my team, the Mariners, Seattle. Mm-hmm, and we were talking about it. I've been anti-pitch clock this whole time. And here's my reasoning. And I think I might be wrong. I'm open to be like, I think I'm wrong. Is people that like going to baseball games, like going for the reason Tory's talking about, they like the game. I like just going there, get up, get a hot dog, get a beer, come back, sit down. Oh, you don't have to be focused the whole time. You could be chatting, you can watch, you can look at your phone. You're not missing much. I'm not in a hurry to leave.
Sure, yeah.
I like a 3-hour game. I spent money. I'm happy to be there longer. And I don't think, and clearly now I might be wrong, I don't think shortening the game is drawing new people in. I think it's just making people leave earlier and spending less money, which honestly, probably not the worst thing for me. But I don't know. I've been anti-pitch clock, and Derek is very pro-pitch clock, and so is Chris. I might just need to get used to it. Absolutely,
pro pitch clock, 100%.
Yeah, I haven't been to a game since the pitch clock was introduced.
It's interesting.
So I don't have an informed opinion of it. When I first read the rule, I'm like, this is dumb.
Yeah,
but I gotta like go there and experience.
Yeah,
I would like to switch the conversation from baseball to a different sport.
Softball,
exactly. Soccer. So okay. I went to last year. I went to 2 soccer games for the first time. I went to a Galaxy game, and then I went to a LAFC game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not really into soccer. Like all that cardio just makes me feel fat. Sorry, it just makes me like I don't want to do that. I don't like to run unless someone's chasing me. Like that's the only time I like it, right? Or a dog or something, right? But I gotta say, the energy at a soccer game
Oh yeah.
is like it's unlike any other energy I've ever felt.
Yeah.
Like ever. Like it's just electrifying from start to finish. And I went to a Galaxy game first on the 4th of July, and it's cool because we got my buddy coaches kids, and one of the kids was singing the national anthem, so they took him, and he had extra tickets, so he brought me along, and we got to go on the pitch, which is like the field, but on the pitch, so that was cool. See her like sing the national anthem, but it was for the Canadian side, whatever. And we were like super close to the field, to the pitch, and then we saw like the fireworks go off, and it was great. But like the energy in the crowd from just like chanting their team chants, and people like bought drums, and they like full body makeup, and they're like just it was like that is like they don't even get paid to do that. They have a fan section, and I know at LAFC, I actually like the LAFC team and stadium better.
Mm-hmm.
But I know like you can't be a part of a fan of the opposing team and sit in the hometown fan section. You will literally like be like threatened with physical harm if not acted upon it. But like, oh my God, it's like the music and chants and the cheering and like that is awesome.
Yeah.
Like you do not go to a soccer game to relax. Like, I'll tell you that much for sure. You don't go there and be like, if you're yawning at a soccer game, you might have sleep apnea. I don't know. You need to get that checked out because you're not awake. You're not awake at a soccer game, and it's incredible. Like the energy,
it's really fun
that's there, and so I loved it. I'm not even that big a fan of the sport, but I am a big fan of like going just for that vibe. That's cool. Have either of you ever been to a soccer game before?
I went to the Angels FC, the new women's team.
LAFC
out here.
Oh! There's a women's team?
Yeah. They just started last year. Angels FC.
Oh, sweet! Do they play at the same stadium as?
It's a
Bank in California.
Okay, super fun. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I played soccer for 7 years when I was a kid, but since then, I'm like, I'm not a fan of the sport. I don't like watching it. But then, like, yeah, the same. When you go watch it in person, I'm like, no, I could do this like every week. This is just, this is fun. Chris?
Totally.
I have never been to a soccer game, but Tory, you said that you only like to run if somebody's chasing you. So what I'm saying is let's create a new sport that's essentially it can be soccer, it can be basketball, whatever, hockey, but there's each team also has a person whose only goal is to tag out members of the opposite team, right? Yeah, so not only are you trying to score, but there's one person who's just trying to run and tag you out. And then the game is over when all of one team has been tagged out. So, so it's a race to score as many points as you can before your entire team is tagged out.
It's literally whatever sport plus ultimate tag.
Yeah, exactly.
This would be impossible to ref. Two people in there tag.
What if they tag the refs out too?
Ooh,
there would be utter chaos at that time.
Yeah,
utter chaos at that time.
And someone starts their own democracy. There's no rules now.
I would love to kind of like on just like a non-traditional sports. I would love like again like have you ever seen like professional ultimate tag?
No.
And have you and specifically have you seen those existence. It's literally just tagged game that we played as kids, but like there's like obstacles.
Ooh.
It has like a parkour over and around stuff, and it's really really fun. But also, have you seen like those it's such a stupid trivial game, but it's like one of those things you see on YouTube and you just like go down a rabbit hole. I'm like, oh my god, I had no idea this exists, and you just get hooked. There's like, I don't know what it's called, but it's a sport where it's 1v1, maybe 1v1v1, but it's you just can't let a balloon touch the floor.
Oh, I have seen this. Yeah.
Like, I would love to get that to a level where it's like stadiums full of people just like cheering the stupidest stuff.
That's I've mentioned on the podcast before. I fractured my wrist doing that. In Vegas. It was 1-on-1. It was me and a Canadian guy. I was just drunk and we had a balloon.
Now imagine that same scenario, but like the entire USA cheering you on, the entire Canadian fans cheering them on. Like, imagine imagine just like the rivalry that would exist between U.S. and Canada over a balloon game.
And I love any sports that makes me feel like I could be an athlete then.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Right.
Yeah. A sport for the common man.
It's like, I think this is mostly in like Russia, but the sport where you just try to slap each other as hard in the face as you can.
Yeah.
And they draw like massive crowds to just see people get slapped in the face.
It's shit's too much. They're like drawing blood and stuff. Like,
and like getting concussed and everything.
Yeah.
Now imagine that, like the Russian slap game with like that a-hole Dodgers fan. My kid can slap harder than you.
I do. I can't remember what it was, but you said something that brought something to my mind. Just awkward experiences at sporting events, which is I'm a big old sports fan, but I'm not from here. I've adopted the Clippers because the Seattle Supersonics haven't existed in a long time.
Sure.
It's just weird growing up going to sporting events in Seattle and then moving out here and being like, depending on the sport, depending on the team, depending on the game, I might be one of like 5 people at the stadium rooting for the team I'm rooting for.
Right, yeah.
Which can be awkward. If it's like when Derek and I went and saw that Mariners game, that was an exciting Mariners win. But it's kind of awkward to be surrounded by people who are really fucking bummed out. And going, so you tone yourself down a little bit and you're like, oh, sorry.
You feel like you have to,
you kind of have to draw back a little. So that takes away from the community vibe. But the reverse of that is worse. And I experience it with football. And when my friend Chris comes into town and he and I will go see the Rams play the Seahawks, big rivals. Every time we've gone to a game, the Seahawks have lost in brutal fashion. It just sucks to spend, because again, like you said, the football, I'm paying like $150 minimum. I paid $150 to be here. The team I love did terrible, and everyone around me is loving it.
Yeah.
Why did I do this? Do you just have those moments watching sports where you're like, why do I do this? Why do I like this?
Oh, absolutely.
Breaks my fucking heart.
I'm so emotionally invested into the Lakers.
Why do we do this?
It's like,
it's awful.
They literally make or ruin my day.
Absolutely.
Depending on how they do, especially if I go to a game. And I think the cool thing about like attending a football game as the rival team's fan is you can sit in, like, there are better sections to sit in, right? Like, if you can afford it, that is. You can sit over like the visiting team's tunnel.
Ooh.
And like, so when they're coming out of their tunnel, when they're going back in at halftime or after the game, that is that is a section that I have come to learn
that
a lot of their like visiting fans of the visiting team's fans sit by. So hopefully you can be in a section with some other people wearing that same non-home jersey that you're wearing, whether
Yeah.
it be like the Seahawks or wherever. They sit in that same section. And apparently, since LA is full like socialites and people who just want to have status, people buy these
Great
tickets with the
Gatsby
intent of
types.
selling them. Exactly. Yes. They buy these season tickets with the intent of selling, because that's what my friends do. They bought season tickets, but for are in the section of the away team's tunnel because they think it'll be easier to sell to people who, I mean, look, most people who live in LA aren't from LA, right?
Right.
So they're like, okay, cool. There's got to be someone who wants to come see the Arizona Cardinals or the Seattle Seahawks or
Nobody wants to see the
whatever
Cardinals.
visiting team is. Yeah, no. But like they get that, so I think that's like a little bit of a saving grace. But it always depends on the stadium. Like I don't know if you can like look up where the visiting team's bench is going to be for basketball, or
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess you can for baseball, sit behind the opposing team's dugout or something. But I understand it's really awkward for you to be there, and it's awkward for us. Like when the home team loses and the visitors are like up and cheering, like you kind of have to be like, all right, they paid their money to be here too. You have to respect them, have their day. As long as you're not overly obnoxious, that's okay. Like I can respect you having fun and high fiving your buddies, right? Yeah. But as soon as you like turn around and start like, yeah, suck it, LA fans, like, all right, now that's just a little bit too much.
I don't want to generalize all Rams fans, but that's a little closer to what I've experienced at the end of Seahawks
absolutely.
Walking home, all sad, and like cars going by, going, "Whose house? Rams house!
Rams house!
Just let me walk home sad. I don't need your help."
Yeah. No, you gotta carry an undershirt, bro. Yeah, so you can just take off your Seahawks jersey and no one will know the difference.
Done. That did spark a memory. This is only like slightly outside of going to sporting events, but I guess technically it is within bounds. When I moved here, it was Long Beach, so not here, but close to here. I moved to Long Beach. I lived there for a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And like a week in, I found out through I think a Facebook group or something. I think it was on Reddit. People care. I found
let's make sure we get this right.
It was the Long Beach subreddit. And I found out that there, you start to get a little homesick being away. There's a bar within walking distance, like a 5 to 10 minute walk, that Seahawks fans gather at and have their own section. So every Sunday they go upstairs. They've got their own section. They're all up there cheering together and drinking. And so I'm like, man, what a thing. And I walked down there and I saw them up there and I didn't go. I got nervous. I saw them all up there and it seemed like a really like, oh, this is they're their friends and it's locked off. Like I'm not going to mention it. I'll just sit down here with everyone else. I don't know what happened. And I never went. I never went and joined the fun.
Well, there are sports bars or like football bars all over LA for whatever non-home team. I encourage you because I think it would be fun to sit with your peoples and lose together.
That's certainly what it feels like this season's about to be.
Do you guys have specific stadium snacks that you like to consume with your sports, and are they different snacks for different sports?
I do have different snacks for different sports. I'll just say really quickly, I'm not stadium specific. I had a Dodger dog. I'm like, this is great. It's also the same as every other hot dog I've had at any other baseball park.
Right, yeah, of course.
Baseball is a hot dog sport. Basketball is a pretzel sport. I don't know why. It's always what I've been. I don't feel like I've ever eaten at a football game. I'm exclusively drinking beer. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
That's my
That's an
answer.
interesting
Basketballs
question.
for pretzels.
I kind of feel like it depends on where I'm sitting.
Mm.
Going to a Dodgers game for sure. Dodgers dog all day long.
Yeah,
And also, I think garlic fries are okay at a baseball game because
I'm
it's
down with that.
outdoors. So hopefully, you're not going to like woof up a room with your garlic breath. But like at a basketball game, kind of depends where I'm sitting. If I'm sitting like in like the normal section, or if I'm sitting in a room. Because
Yeah.
and I don't mean to like sound all hoity-toity, but when you get like a private reserve room or like
Yeah.
a suite, they come around with a cart where you can like order things off of. So it kind of depends on if I want to go out to like the bar or to like the little pop up restaurant or a shack to get something, or get something off the cart that they roll past your like your suite area.
Yeah.
And I just go on like SeatGeek or Game Time, which is I'm a fan of, and let's get like last minute tickets from there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll get 200 sections. Sometimes it'll be like in a suite. So it kind of depends on where I'm sitting.
Yeah. I can't believe I almost let this episode go by without mentioning my time in a suite.
Mm,
Because this is a
pray
story.
tell.
This is a story.
Oh, let me
I
sit back.
sit
The
back.
Sweet Life of Evan.
The sweet life of Evan and Cody. I don't even. I'm not positive what that show was. Zach and
Yeah,
Cody.
of course,
Is that
it
who
was
they were?
of Zach and Cody.
Okay.
Yes,
Evan and
of
Cody.
course.
It worked. I said it right. I used to work at a horse racing track, borderline sporting event.
Sure.
The vice president of the company had a suite. As the vice president of the horse racing track, as you can imagine, a wealthy to-do man, one who co-owns a horse racing track. So it's a very limited group of people he invites. He invites basically like the heads of departments, people that he gets along with. Cool. That's never trickling down to me in the TV department, but cool. Except one day when it did, for whatever reason. One of the heads from marketing, who was friends with us, came in and was like, "Hey, I've got an invite to this game. Me and a +1, but I can't go. Does anybody want to go?" And me and my friend Lee were like, yeah, we want to go. Let's do it. Let's go to a suite. This will be fun. So we get there. Immediately, I'm like, I've worked there for years. I know so many people. I'm immediately like, I don't know any of these fucking people. That's the vice president of the company, a very wealthy man, and these are his wealthy friends. And then me and Lee were still wearing our like Emerald Downs polos. Just, I don't know. I was probably 19 at the time. No, I would have been over 21 because I was drinking. So I probably was like right there, like 21. And there is a keg. And I'm like, this is awkward. I don't really want to be here, but I'll fit in. I'll have a drink. Everyone's drinking. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to have a beer. And
I'll take my shirt off and do a keg stand.
Maybe that when you're in that situation and you're like, oh, I look like I don't belong, just pretend to be the stripper someone ordered. Like, here I am. So I'm trying to assimilate. I'm trying to look like I know what I'm doing. I'm here on purpose. Eat a chicken finger, pour a beer. My friend Lee goes, he grabs, they got these plastic cups, grabs a plastic cup. I know this sounds ritzy. Plastic cup, fills the cup with beer, heads outside. I go, here's my chance. Grab the cup. Start filling it with beer. I'm looking around. I think I'm talking to someone. And all of a sudden, my feet are wet. Why are my feet wet? There's a hole about this big in the bottom of this cup. Why? I don't fucking know. It just came that way. I have already poured the beer full, and it's emptying as fast as like a hose all over everything. So I quickly, everyone's going like, oh no, look what the idiot did. Look what the poor fool did. Grabbing another cup, trying to get it. It's one of those things where it's like you tell the story and you're like, not being there, it doesn't sound that bad. at the time, that was one of the most mortifying fucking things I've ever experienced, is not feeling like I don't fit in with very wealthy people and then spilling beer all over the place, all over people's shoes.
You had to hoof it out of that horse racing track.
Damn straight. It was a baseball.
Yes!
It was a baseball stadium. Did I not mention that?
I have a question. You know, because you mentioned, you know, even though that was at a baseball stadium, you've mentioned horse racing.
That's true.
Tory, you mentioned Sally Two Thumbs coming to break legs. Have either of you bet on sporting or sports games or done any sort of gambling related activity? The closest that I got was at the Dodgers game. They've got that 50-50 lottery ticket.
Raffle.
The raffle, yeah. And I kept I kept watching the total go up. And so did my future father-in-law. We were watching it tick up. And my fiance was like, no, it's a scam. Don't do it. But he and I were like, let's get some tickets. And so if I had known, I don't know if either of you have participated in the 50-50 raffle, but if I had known the way that it's actually like done, I don't think we would have done it. Like we got the 5 tickets for $10 or something like that. But the way that it's like, it's not that they give you 5 random numbers. It's like, I mean, it's a sequence of like 10 numbers. So, you know, ours was like, you know, 5, 3, 6, 9, 8, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. And then the next one was the same beginning, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 3. And it's like, well, then it doesn't feel to me like like we have as good of a shot as if it was like a completely random, even if they're still sequential, but like instead of it being like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 under our, you know, name or whatever. I don't know. It felt off to me. And we of course did not win, but that number got pretty high. It was over 40,000.
I can get suckered into a raffle sometimes, but I get that it's just a bummer when they're calling the number and then they say the number where you realize like, oh, immediately all of my tickets lost because it was pulled from something 5,000 numbers that way.
Yeah.
I adore sports gambling. I'm a gosh dang fiend. It is not legal in the state of California, so I don't do it here. I'm not a bad boy. I go to Vegas to do that shit. But that's maybe my favorite type of gambling. I was just recently in Vegas with my sisters and won some money watching baseball and UFC, which I'm not a big fan of. But you know what? When you have money on it, it's kind of fun to watch 2 ladies beat the shit out of each other and then the right one beat the shit out of the other one more. It was pretty exciting.
I've done a little bit of betting. Just recently, I was in Vegas last NBA playoff season. I put I don't know, $20 on the Lakers winning and whatever. Not a lot. I did used to go when I was a kid. My neighbor used to take me to the local horse track, and we bet on some horses. I don't know. He was like looking at the newspaper and looking at the odds and everything. He was like, "All right, well, this is how you can tell if they're gonna win or not." I just looked at the one that, you know, I just like betting on ones that pranced around the most.
Yeah.
You know, any head that came out and was like, you know, was like trotting with them, like the knees high and like the neck high. They look confident. I'm like, I want a horse that looks confident.
Absolutely.
I want no horse that's like dragging his nose in the dirt. I want a confident looking horse. So that's what I bet on.
A horse that wants to be
and,
there.
You won some, you lost some. You know, but yeah, I haven't really spent too much money on sports betting. Although it's really popular nowadays. They make it so with like the fan duels and all the like
California,
MGM,
one of the few
all those
states
things.
where I think it's just like 5 or 6 states now that it's not legal in, but it's legal in Washington now when I go
Mm-hmm.
home. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. That looks fun.
Yeah.
At the 50-minute mark here, it's time to say, you know what we got? You don't even know what we got. We got a question, a fan submitted question, and a story from
Wonderful.
listeners. And I got to share them with you guys. What do you want first? You want a question or you want a story?
I want a story first.
Okay.
I want the story first as well. Yeah.
All right. I know this guy. This is my buddy Kyle. He says, okay, so I went to a Mariners game a couple of weeks ago and was dealt the misfortune of being sat in front of a screaming 2-year-old. This child was fine for about 3 innings till the realization set in that it would not be moving from betwixt its mother's thighs. This made it quite ornery. Now, when I say ornery, imagine Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka, just without the verbal articulation of its spoiled nature and a lot more screeching. This thing was climbing everywhere, grabbing my hair and back fat, all while intermittently sounding these banshee-esque screams directly into my eardrum. What about the parents, you might be thinking at this point? Father completely checked out and only concerned about the game, while the mother would occasionally look around and lob around a disingenuous sorry every now and then, while doing nothing other than trying to appease the little shit. By the 6th inning, I was caught off guard by a real loud yelp and a vice grip pinch under my armpit, to which I burst into laughter and would continue snickering throughout the game. I was laughing because at the time the monster gave me the purple nurple on my back boob. I had to quickly stifle the instant urge to turn around and shout, "Curb your child or I'm throwing it in the trash." They left during the 7th inning stretch. Any experience with the kiddos at games?
Wow.
When I was at the Dodgers game, I was shocked at how many like small babies were in the stands. They were all pretty well behaved, and not. I mean, they weren't ever like super close to me anyway. But yeah, I mean, look, there's certainly an epidemic of parents letting their children do whatever they want with no consequences. But yeah, that's you know, it's a thing that is upsetting and frustrating and sad, but not surprising.
Wow. I'm there's only so much you can do, you know, about a kid's yelling. Like, if you're a parent, you can't just like stuff a sock in its mouth as much as you like. Right. So it's only so much you can do about the yelling. But if this baby is giving me a purple nurple on my back fat, there is nothing that will stop me from yeeting that baby into the next section. Sorry. You might go online today and see like there's this orangutan that like yeeted this raccoon from like a structure.
Oh yeah, I saw
from
that.
This zoo. If you see that, that's me to a baby. It's just like, go on and just yeet that sucker into the next stadium.
Yeah,
essentially. So I'm sorry, you touch me, it's
exactly.
It's game over.
There's
sorry.
The frustration because it's the same. Like I've sat in a movie and it's like, oh, there's a baby screaming. And you're like, that sucks. It's distracting. It's taking me out of the movie.
Right.
But I get it. I wish you didn't bring your kid. I wish you'd maybe take it outside. But when it's the like kick in the back of the seat, like bumping into you and shit like that, I'm like, leave. Like, that's all it is. Like, when you say like do something about it, like, I do not want you to hit your kid. I want you to pick the kid up and fucking just go home, because it's not getting better.
Yeah.
I think that's the most respectful thing to do.
Just leave.
That's the most respectful thing to do, because here's why. You are at that point when your baby is making it so that other people around you are not enjoying the game.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, like he said, she lets out a disingenuous sorry every now and then. You're not enjoying the game either. Like, as a parent,
not at all.
Like, that's your responsibility to, like, one. And I'm not a parent, and I'm not sure if you can tell.
You might be able to tell.
Based on
none of us are parents.
But like, if you're not enjoying the game and you're embarrassed that your kid is like touching and screaming, like, get up, walk around, try to
Exactly. Yeah.
pop it in your arms or something, so the kid can calm down. So not only will the kid be a little bit calmer and cooler, but you can actually enjoy the game, and the people around you can enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
Like you sitting there and like first of all, you letting your kid touch someone else is beyond.
Bad.
I will sue that baby for assault. But if you like let someone do that, you're not enjoying the game. So just go and take a walk around the stadium, and hopefully the baby will calm down a little bit.
That's the best advice. Just go for a walk.
Yeah.
Take the kid with you.
Or else that baby's getting the boot. Sorry. Yeah. I wear size 12, so you know it's going to be a long punt.
And then for a question, thank you, Kyle. We are so sorry. That's not. Hopefully, it was like we were talking about some of those like $5 Mariners tickets you didn't spend up. They're doing pretty well this season, so you might have spent up, and I apologize. The question comes from old listener Han.Hartnett on Instagram. Ranking of the most to least fun of the most popular sports. Ranking them from most fun to watch in person to least fun to watch in person, which I think is an interesting way to word it. Interesting to watch.
Okay. Okay.
So what are we counting as the most popular or the most?
Okay.
Well, which sports are we ranking? Is my question.
Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer.
Yeah, that sounds like that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer. Got it.
It's tough. Because like you said, I might say soccer would be least fun to watch sport in the sense of the sport, but the atmosphere is so hype that it kind of goes up. I think hockey's probably my number one most fun. Honestly, in terms of going to watch in person, this might be controversial. I might put football way the fuck down. I think football is the only sport that is better to watch at home. I don't know. I don't really love going to football games. It's expensive and the view's bad no matter where you're sitting.
Sure. Yeah.
So maybe in reverse order, I'll go football. Oh, this hurts. I don't want to put baseball that low, but I think I got to put baseball next. Soccer, basketball, hockey. I think hockey's most fun. And it's nice and cold.
I'm going to go, because I've never been to a soccer game, I'm going to put soccer at number 5.
Fair.
Then I'm going to put football number 4. And then, because the only football games that I've been to, I have not been to a professional football game. I've been to college football games. And I've never been to a Cardinals game, but I've only been to college and high school football games, I think. But so I would put football number 4. I'm gonna put, I think baseball and hockey are like pretty even for 2 and 3. Maybe I'll put hockey at number 3, baseball number 2, but they're pretty close. And the reason I have hockey lower is, hey, sometimes I don't know where that puck is. I don't know what's going on. And so for that reason, fair. Sharks, I will put basketball number 1.
All right. Starting at 5, I got to put baseball at 5. Okay. It's just too long and too much of a lack of action between. I also think they just have like the longest amount of time, like just the longest amount of downtime between periods or innings. Like I get it, like it feels like there's 5 minutes between each inning. If there's 9 minutes, if there's 9 innings, 9 innings times 5 minutes each, that's 45 minutes of just downtime. 45 minutes, that's just too long for you. And also, when I was a kid, I would love to like try to like get the attention of like the third baseman or like the right field or left fieldman to like, oh cool, when you're done like using that ball to warm up, which I don't know why you're not warm in the sixth inning. But like when you're done, like please, like can I have the ball? And I would never get one. I'm like, you guys are just teasing me for 45 minutes at a time. Screw you guys. I'm going home. You know what I mean? So baseball is a hard 5 for me.
Baseball's a
even though I love playing the game. It's So
you gotta see
5.
this pitch clock, Tory.
I will not to interrupt your list, but I think I worked it out in my head. I think for me, it's just that baseball is like I don't go there to have fun. I'm there to like it's kind of relaxing. I'm there to just like chill. I'm there to hang out with friends.
Totally.
So on the fun list, that's why baseball gets so low.
On the fun. But like to answer the question about like just specifically watching, I think it's got to be baseball at hard 5. Number 4 is football. Football does have a lot of it can have some big action on like long drives or like long like throws. But like when you're just like
runs.
Trying to run the ball and you're getting like -1 yards every run, it's like
brutal.
So football is at 4. I think I'm gonna put hockey at 3 for the same reasons, Chris. I have no idea where that puck is. If they made it like a bright color, like a highlighter orange, cool, maybe. But like when you just have like a whole bunch of dudes on top of each other, which normally that's the type of thing that I like to see.
Yeah.
But when you just have a whole bunch of dudes on top of each other, and you don't know where like the thing they're fighting over is, that's a little like unnerving. But I like to see like all the like the hitting and the fighting and like the body slamming up against walls. We're talking about hockey still. I think I like to see all that stuff.
So that's exciting.
Slapping. 4 is I gotta say 4 is soccer because I can see the ball a little bit better in soccer, and they're just faster. They're just moving nonstop, which I can kind of see if like they're moving at that pace for the entire game. It kind of just gets monotonous. You don't really like have anything like to track it with, but I think along with the energy of the stadium, but just watching how like plus the reactions of a goal is just amazing too. Soccer is number 2, and basketball is my all-time favorite sport to watch. It's you can see the ball clearly. It's big. You can see it when it goes up through the hoop, bounces off the rim, whatever. Slam dunks. Oh my gosh,
so
slam
exciting.
Dunk is it's like the best. And by the way, Chick Hearn, the legendary announcer of the Los Angeles Lakers, was a person who invented that term, the slam dunk. When the slam dunk happens, that's so exciting to watch. So so basketball is my number 1 for sure.
In terms of I had basketball at number 2, I'm like it's the reverse of football where I'm like I don't think there is a bad view like anywhere. I take nosebleed seats and it's like sometimes I prefer this. You get down up close, you're like within arm's reach of the players, like you're right there next to them. Basketball's always fun unless it's a Lakers game, and that's kind of a bummer. We gotta take this quiz.
We do have a quiz. I have one more question. Yes, thank you for that question. And I have one more question before we take this quiz, which is how do we feel about non-sports fans or some this Venn diagram may overlap a little bit. Hack comedians who when there's a big sporting event are like, I can't wait to watch sports ball, or I can't wait to check out the superb owl or whatever. How do we feel about this? Is this cringy?
I think whatever. Like the first time I heard it, these are like, that's fun. The first time you see someone wearing a shirt that says sports ball, my buddy Anthony used to have one. It just has like a basketball and a hockey stick and shit. I'm like, that's funny. We're 10 years past that now. Maybe 10 years past the first time I laughed at that. And I feel like I'm good.
I'll take the superb owl as an example. When you have a superb owl party, you get people there who don't necessarily watch football
True.
religiously.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah, yeah.
casual fan of football. I definitely watch the Super Bowl, but I'm not like watching my team every week,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I go there for kind of like the same reason you go to watch a baseball game live when you go to a Super Bowl party,
Yeah.
for the atmosphere, for the people, for the snacks.
Oh yeah.
I actually do like. Oh, so here's another thing about sports betting. I love like squares. Like at
Oh
a Super Bowl party
yes.
when you do
Love
squares, so
that.
that's super fun. I always participate with
That's
that.
a blast.
Um,
And
also, I love the
I can't
commercials
think.
too. Like the
Of
Super Bowl
course.
commercials are great, right?
Prop
So
bets.
I think it's
You
okay.
ever done prop bets on the Super Bowl where it's
No,
like,
what's that?
oh man, you can look it up. You can find like lists. So it'll be like, how will the national anthem be over or under a minute? Will
Yes, yes,
which will happen
yes.
first? Which it's just
All
like
those drinking game sorts of things too.
betting on
Yeah.
the halftime show and shit. Like
Yes.
what
Yes.
cameos will be there? Oh man, I love that shit. It's
Totally.
so fun.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. So I think it's okay for like non-sporty people to watch like the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
because I think that's the best time that they can get introduced to the sport.
yeah,
So you might have fans, they might become fans actually, and if not, that's totally fine. There are other things to do. Now, when you have like hack comedians that are just trying to like make a joke out of things, like that's not the time or place. I don't feel like,
yeah,
because you actually do have people that are like actually there watching Super Bowl because either their team's in it or they have a vested interest for whatever reason, or people are there to hang out and enjoy it and kind of like watch the game, kind of hang out. But when you're trying to make a joke and just like shit upon what like the whole experience, it's like
yeah.
okay, like
I,
go. That's what you watch Game of Thrones for, just like
yeah.
to say like, oh yeah, this person died again. Now I don't have anyone else to
This
watch.
person died
Go
again.
find yeah, like go find someone else to be crappy about.
Yeah, I think it is like from the outside looking in, because like I don't know, when I was a kid I wasn't majorly into sports. Well, I guess once I was like 10 or so I started getting into basketball, but like from the outside looking in, I get it can look dumb to be this emotionally invested in things, but it's like I feel ridiculous saying it, but the NFL first week was just last week, and after a whole
Right.
off season, a great season last year, and an exciting off season, I'm like, man, I can't wait to watch the Seahawks, and they sucked, and I
Yeah.
spiraled into a depression. And I kind of stayed there for like 2 or 3 days. And that's not healthy at all. But it is what
No.
happens. And I don't need anyone else making fun of me. Let me have my bullshit. This is my bullshit. You got your bullshit. That's my bullshit. I'm gonna be sad.
Right.
I care too much.
Speaking of bullshit, the last 31 episodes, of course, we've taken a quiz at the end. And this is the
Nobody knows
32nd
why yet.
quiz in a row. You may find out next week why we've taken 32
Oh
quizzes.
God, is it next week? Oh, we're
It
doing
is.
it. All right, I'm ready.
But this is a quiz that the three of us will be taking together.
I think you're the first guest that's going to sit in on a quiz. This is exciting.
Yes, of the 32 quizzes, this is the only one that'll
gosh.
have a guest on it. All right, so here we are.
Oh,
Three of us are going to try to name all of the U.S. sports teams.
Oh my gosh! In 12
There's
minutes.
NFL
Okay.
over here, MLB, NBA, and NHL.
Damn.
It'll be a little tricky because sometimes when on this Riverside call, sometimes when we all are shouting team names out, some of them are
Yeah.
just going to get lost in the shuffle. So hopefully everybody can keep up, and I'll try to type them out as quick as I can.
All right. Hopefully we don't.
But,
You don't
Right.
have to type in like the city also, or you
I
can
don't
just,
think so. I
we'll
think it's
see.
only the team
The
name,
name.
which
Okay.
I think we've mentioned the Arizona Cardinals. I think that may be the first one we try to
Shit.
get. That way, we'll see if it's we get
That'll,
Arizona Cardinals and St. Louis Cardinals on there
Yeah.
at the same time.
Oh yeah.
But
Okay.
there are 124 team names. We have
Oh,
12
God.
minutes to do it. Does anybody have
We We have to get more
a
than
goal or
10
an
per
idea
minute.
of what we're gonna of how many we're actually gonna get by the end of this between the three of us.
I feel pretty confident that we're gonna get at least 75%.
Okay, Evan.
God,
I
Evan,
think
percentage of
that'd be like a C
124.
grade. I think we're gonna get a set.
That might be around what
yeah.
I was gonna say. I think we can get 80.
Okay. All right. Well, are you both ready?
Tory's full of water now.
Now, should we tackle this by category, like by like sport by sport?
This is a great question. This we've done a couple quizzes on this website before, and I'm the type of quiz taker on here that just scatter shots every like the first thing that comes into my brain. That's the next one we're doing. But
and then I try,
but I don't know how you.
He's
both,
like, I already did
yeah.
that. Okay.
All right. How do you feel about that, Evan? Do you just want to say whatever?
For the sake of, because there are 4 different ones, let's just go from left to right sport wise. We can all shout out teams, but let's start with
Yeah.
I mean,
but staying within the same sport,
just so we're not like completely.
Yeah. Okay.
completely lose, and we can.
I can do that.
Choose
so
when
first
to move on.
NFL.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I will start the quiz right now. And I'll type in Cardinals first, and
Finish
there
out
it
the
goes.
division.
So that is what we have to do.
Seahawks, 49ers,
Seahawks.
Rams would be the rest
49ers, Rams.
Oh, and it also did the Cardinals for the MLB too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so it'll.
Okay, so we do just need that.
Yeah.
All right.
Damn, I wish they split those up by division. That would be easier.
Right.
Yeah. Instead, it's alphabetical by city. It looks like.
That's fine. Let's do Chiefs.
Yeah.
Sure. Chiefs.
So we're in a division with the Raiders.
Commanders.
Yes.
Raiders. Commanders. They're down there. It's I don't have enough steam on there.
Okay.
How about the Jets?
Patriots.
Patriots.
Dolphins.
Giants. Eagles. Dolphins.
Yeah, all the animals.
Exactly. Bengals, right?
Yep.
Jaguars.
Cowboys.
Panthers. Cowboys.
I feel like cows. I don't know.
Saints.
Saints, of course.
Packers.
Of course, the Packers. The Vikings.
Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. The Ravens.
Oh yeah, Bengals.
Baltimore Ravens. Yeah.
Steelers.
We have Bengals. Steelers. Good.
Bills.
The Bills.
Yeah.
Sure.
Buffalo Bills. Yeah. Oh, what's above? What's between Cardinals and Ravens? Arizona and Baltimore.
Does Atlanta have a football team?
Well, oh yeah, Falcons.
Oh yeah, the Falcons.
I was gonna be like, no. Okay.
Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
Lions.
Lions. Yeah.
Is there a Tigers?
No.
Oh, I guess that's baseball, huh?
Oh, so yeah, you can type Tigers if you want while we're waiting.
Sure. There we go. All right.
Oh yeah, so Cincinnati, Chicago, Cincinnati, Broncos.
Oh, good call.
Denver Broncos. Yeah.
What's in between the Bengals and the Cowboys? Cincy and Dallas. This is so much harder to do alphabetically.
Yeah. Let's go.
What are the teams I always forget exist? I feel like we're stalling.
Does Charlotte have a team?
Well, the Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
Texans.
Sure, Texans.
Titans.
Good.
Nice.
Oops. Okay.
Vikings.
There are only 2 football teams left.
Wow. Okay.
I know. I wanted to move on.
Sorry to all the fans that are like screaming right now. It's this team. It's this team.
I gotta think.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
West Coast, no, in Oregon. No, I'm just going state by state.
All right.
You want to move to MLB?
Oh, the Browns.
I think we have the Browns. Yeah. we had 12 minutes, right? Let's spend about 3 minutes per category.
Yeah.
Just so we can try to get through all of it. All right.
I'll back in my mind be trying to think of that last football team.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go on to baseball.
All right, now So MLB next.
Yeah.
What we're doing?
And I will say, I don't know why this is happening, but this timer is not moving.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we'll
very slow. Cool.
All right, but MLB, Diamondbacks, Mariners, Brewers, Dodgers, Angels, Padres.
Mm-hmm. We got you.
Yeah.
The
the Cubs, White Sox, Red Sox,
Yankees, Mets.
I'll
go Rangers, Mets, Astros, and Athletics.
We have the A's, Royals, Wizards, right? Or no, maybe that's something else.
Basketball.
There it is. We got them. That's fine.
But they're the Nationals, Washington's team.
Nationals, yep.
I'm so distracted by
Twins.
that
Braves,
team.
Twins.
Okay, so we got Atlanta. I guess we can kind of look at the cities missing in the football category.
I'm like looking at like what's between M and L, the Louisiana Purchases.
The Phillies.
Yeah. Shoot, why is this hard? 7 minutes.
Supposedly. Oh no! Here it's
oh god!
Down.
Oh no!
There you go.
Oh my gosh!
I just aged so much.
Is Cleveland? Has Cleveland changed their name, or are they still the Cleveland Indians?
They are the Guardians.
Are they?
Guardians.
Guardians.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Dallas doesn't have a. Does that? What are the other Texas baseball teams? There's the Astros, the Rangers. Is there one more? Maybe not.
There's Astros, Rangers. All right. I feel like we're
under. Yeah. Let's
move on.
All right. Let's go. Let's go to NBA.
Clippers.
All right. Lakers.
Warriors.
Yep. Kings.
Magic.
Yep. The Magic. The Heat.
What are the
Blazers? Trailblazers.
Pelicans.
Trailblazers.
Why do I always forget what the
Pistons.
Suns.
What's Carolina's team?
Yeah, we got the Suns.
Bobcats. No, what are they?
Do we have the Mavericks?
Yes, we have the Mavericks.
Oh, the Bucks.
We have the Spurs, the Bucks,
Nuggets.
The Bulls, the Nuggets.
Yeah. I'm just thinking of
the Raptors.
Yep, Toronto Raptors. Yep.
Is it? Who's Carolina's team now? Is it the Bobcats?
Heat. No, the Hornets.
They're the Hornets still.
Hornets.
I thought they changed their name.
Yeah, Charlotte Hornets. They were from the Bobcats to the Hornets.
Oh, that's why.
Let's see. New York Knicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Nets.
Nets. Yep.
Nets.
Yeah. Celtics.
Celtics. Sure.
Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Hawks.
What else we have? Timberwolves.
Timberwolves, good.
Oh, 76ers.
Yeah, Philly
76ers, cool.
Do we have Cleveland up there yet? No, we don't have the Cleveland
Cavaliers.
And the... Oh. I'm fine. I almost said the Mets. Ignore me. I was like, I don't have The New York Mets in the basketball. Did we?
All right, it may be time to jump to NHL here in about 20 seconds.
Well, we got 20 seconds. Crap.
Did you get the Nets? No, the Nets are missing.
I thought I got the Nets. Yeah, Brooklyn Nets. They're up there.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, we can do some hockey teams. Get the Kraken in there.
Coyotes, Ducks, Kraken. How do you spell
Just a
Kraken?
K.
There we go.
KR.
The
Kings. Oh, you got the
the
Kings.
Flyers, right? The Oilers, the Maple Leafs.
Look at this guy go. The Jets. The Canadiens.
Nope. Sorry, sir.
Oh,
what?
Did we get the Blue Jays? Sorry.
Blue Jays. Yeah, good.
Blue Jays.
Good, got them.
Like the Winnipeg Jets are still a team.
They're down here.
Okay, I thought
we got them when we did the. We got them when we did Jets earlier.
Jets. Senators.
Yeah. Senators.
Did you get the Canadians?
Penguins.
Canadians, really?
It's Canadian ENNES.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Penguins.
Penguins.
Fuck the Penguins.
Pirates is a team, right? There we go. MLB.
Hey!
Yeah, there you go.
We got the Flyers.
4 more and we hit 100.
The Devils.
Devils.
The Canucks.
Oh God, how do you spell that? There it is. Okay, 2 more and we hit 100. I don't know how much time we have left.
Did you get the Rangers? We got the Rangers. Got the Devils. What's Washington's team? Why can't I think of it?
Rockets, yeah.
Yeah, I got Houston Rockets there. So 1 more and we hit 100 with 1 minute and 20 seconds to go.
What is Washington's hockey team? Why can't I think of their name? They've won a Stanley Cup.
Is it not the Kraken?
No, Washington, D.C.
Oh, Wizards? No, we did that already.
I keep thinking Nationals. That's bad. Baseball. What is their fucking team? God, I got to move on from it. But man, I hate getting stuck like that.
Less than a minute to go. Let's see if
Avalanche.
we can get 1 more.
Avalanche.
Avalanche. Great.
We did it.
So there's 1 NFL team missing. There
kill
are 4 baseball teams missing. There are 3 basketball teams missing, and a bunch of hockey teams. That's fine.
And it's got to be the city starts with an H, I'm assuming, or it's another JA. I don't think there's an I.
Indianapolis. Do they have something? The Colts. There you go.
Oh, jeez. Yes, there is a team with an I. All right, I'm gonna head back to hockey. It's frozen, so I assume it's gonna shoot us down.
We're probably done, but we'll see.
Let me see if I can come up with one
if
more.
If you think of something
team.
And we can get
the Blues,
it done.
St. Louis Blues.
Blues, good job.
Thank you.
That still got in under the under the wire.
Under this loaming 41 seconds.
Red Wings. There
Red
we
Wings.
go.
Yeah.
And now time is maybe up. There it goes.
Oh, we're stuck at 1 second. Okay.
So the
Pacers,
teams,
Grizzlies, OKC.
Oh,
okay.
duh. The Thunder, the old Sonics.
So the baseball teams we missed were the Orioles, the Rockies, the Marlins, and the Rays.
I'm okay with that.
NBA teams we missed were the Pacers, the Grizzlies, and the Thunder. And then NHL, we missed a bunch of them. Bruins, Sabres, Flames, Hurricanes, Blackhawks, Blue Jackets, Stars, Wild, Predators, Islanders, Sharks, Lightning, Knights, and Capitals.
I'm bummed I couldn't think of the Capitals. That's such an obvious name for DC's team.
But we got more than 80 correct, and we got more than 75%. We actually got 83%. The average score is 79%.
Nice.
So we were above average as well. That was a good team effort there.
Man,
I love it.
Tough to tell how we were doing based on the frozen timer, but I think we did a good job.
We crushed it.
And those of you who are listening to this episode did a good job by still being here. And you can listen to more episodes. You can listen to Tory's past 3 appearances.
Oh, yeah.
They are available on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere that you get your podcasts, as well as HowDoWeHuman.com. You can leave a rating or a review, subscribe, follow, all those things. You can check us out on Instagram at HowDoWeHuman.
Ooh, we got that handle.
You can check us out on Facebook at HowDoWeHuman.
I don't think you're ready for that handle.
YouTube at HowDoWeHuman.
Handles. All we have is handles.
Or send us an email. You know, you've been noticing we've been getting stories and questions from listeners. That could be you.
That could be you.
You could, of course, the aforementioned Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, but you can also send us stuff through an email to howdowehumanpod@gmail.com.
The best part of that handle is that it's an email.
And of course, we want to thank you, Tory, for joining us for this episode. Being the first guest in months.
Yeah. Are you thrilled that we waited to have you on until a strike started so you couldn't promote anything?
Yes. I'm just happy to be here whenever. I mean, thankfully, the strike did happen, which made me have time to visit you guys.
Damn straight.
Yes.
So, yes. No, I'm not happy. But I always have a great time. I really do. It's just I know you both as just non-podcasters, just as humans, and I think that you guys are great humans as well. So it's always a great time to catch up and put a little work in with you on this show as well. So I'm thrilled to be here, and I would love to be back whenever you will have me.
We love having you. Hey, let's all go to Angel City FC game sometime. Whoop it up.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm down with that.
Something I didn't want to talk too much about baseball, but one of the things that I love about the Brewers games is that little hot dog race where people are in hot dog costumes. We didn't get to talk at all about mascots.
No,
but maybe that's a completely separate episode.
Yeah, we'll talk mascots for sure.
And something that many mascots have done in the past that we're gonna do now is wave goodbye.
Okay, bye.